Hello everyone, my name is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly and you are watching the United vs Charlton match preview, the quarter-final of the EFL Cup, a big game in our season in the context of winning trophies, and that's the main aim for Eric Ten Hag. It's been a few seasons now since we last got our hands on any silverware at all, and we really need to deliver this season, and we've got a very, very good chance. But before we get into everything we're going to be talking about in this preview, hit that like button if you do enjoy these videos. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And if you're watching on the replay, please do feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Predictions, any thoughts, any opinions on anything I've said in this stream, let me know in the comment section down below, because I do enjoy reading your comments. So please do leave your comments below. But as I said, a very important game in Manchester United's season. Yes, a lot of people may be looking at it going, well, it's only Charlton at home. It's a game that we should be winning, but it's a very important game. You know, it's a game which is a bit of a banana skin. Yes, obviously the odds are stacked in our favour. It's a home game, another home draw for us, which we've been very lucky with. But it's another home game, EFL Cup. Charlton currently 12th in League One. It seems set up for us to do well, to get over this, and we shouldn't be worrying too much. And I know we shouldn't be worrying too much, but it is a big game in the context of winning trophies, and that is something we failed to do on a number of occasions since Jose Mourinho left. He was the last manager to actually win any silverware. We did get to a few finals with Solskjaer, obviously the Europa League final, and it just didn't go to plan. So this is a massive opportunity for us. The EFL Cup is a massive opportunity to win a trophy. Win this and we are potentially 3 games away from silverware. So that's why it's a very, very big opportunity for us tomorrow night to win and go through to a semi-final. So let's talk a bit about our opposition first. Charlton Athletic, as I said, 12th in League One. And you know what? They're building a pretty exciting team. Their forward line is very, very exciting. A couple names you might recognise. Raksaki, he was obviously at Crystal Palace, and he's been very, very good for them. 6 goals so far this season. He will be one of their main threats. Miles Leaburn as well. He's someone who has got a bit of history in this fixture, a bit of family history in this fixture. His dad, Carl Leaburn, in 1994 scored a bit of a consolation goal in a 3-1 defeat at Old Trafford when United went on to win the FA Cup, which is really interesting actually, because obviously his son has got a big opportunity now to follow in his father's footsteps, and that is a storyline if there ever was one. So we'll see what happens with that, but maybe it's a good sign if he does score and we do go on to win. You know, we won the FA Cup last time when his dad did it. Hopefully, you know, if he gets a consolation and we go on to win, the same result applies. But yeah, a few storylines. Mo, thanks for joining, appreciate it. He says, can't believe the draws we're getting in those cups. So used to getting the worst draws. Absolutely. It does seem like we've been lucking out with the draws recently. Yes, to be fair, in the EFL Cup in the previous round, we did get Burnley. We got Aston Villa as well. So we haven't had it, you know, ridiculously easy, but you know, FA Cup as well, we got Everton, which, yes, this season they've been poor. So in that respect, it is a pretty easy fixture, but they are still Premier League opposition. So, you know, we have been getting relatively easier draws compared to what we used to get, which seemed to be every third round every year was either Arsenal, Chelsea or City. It was just always those 3 teams just interchanged. So it was good to finally see us get some easier draws and some draws which are a bit more winnable. But obviously, when you start getting into the later rounds, you can't outrun the big boys, and ultimately you're going to have to face the best teams at some point. So yeah, it's good that we can, you know, have a better chance of getting to the kind of latter stage of these competitions, but to win the big prizes, and that's what we're in these tournaments to do, in these competitions to do, is to actually win them. We're not in here to just compete. We're here to win it all. You've got to beat the best. And hopefully, if other draws go our way, we can avoid the likes of Man City. In the EFL Cup perspective, we can avoid the likes of Man City and Newcastle, and hopefully, you know, have a safe passage through this competition. But we have to get through Charlton first. And as I said, it's not going to be it could be very straightforward, but in my opinion, I don't see it being a complete walk in the park. And for me, the biggest thing with Charlton is that they have absolutely nothing to lose. They're a team which are coming to Old Trafford, and they see the EFL Cup as a trophy which would be amazing if they did win, amazing if they continue to get far, especially with prize money and things like that. But ultimately for them, a game at Old Trafford, a one-off game to potentially go through. If they don't go through, it wasn't as if they were expected to do it anyway. They've done very well to get this far. I think they beat Brighton in the round before on penalties. So the fact they're even here is testament to the job they're doing over there. So, fair play to them. But ultimately, it's a team that has nothing to lose, and a team with a lot of very, very exciting players going forward. I mean, Raksaki, Corey Blackett-Taylor as well. Obviously, Miles Leaburn, as we mentioned, all on decent form and all players that are going to be looking to have their moment up in lights at Old Trafford. So, whilst, yes, on paper, we've got a very solid squad, we're in a very good vein of form right now. I don't think we've lost or drawn a game since the end of the World Cup. We've got a 100% record in our 5 games after the resumption of club football. So, obviously, all the odds are going to be in our favour. It's a home tie as well under the lights. So, as I said, I'm not saying we're not the favourites, but I think for me, Charlton are going to turn up with nothing to lose and they're going to go for it. And, defensively, we've been fairly solid. Obviously, apart from our last game against Everton, we've kept quite a few clean sheets at Old Trafford this season. So that is something that does fill me with a lot of hope, the fact we have been fairly defensively solid. And we shouldn't fear Charlton. I'm not saying we should fear them, but I'm just saying that they will be coming here with nothing to lose. And that's something which is sometimes a scary proposition, because all the pressure is on you, all the onus is on you to get the job done. And I've got full faith and confidence that we will get the job done, but it's just something to bear in mind. But yeah, moving on to Manchester United. As I said, we're in a very good reign of form right now. 5 wins out of 5 since the return of club football. Very, very solid. Our last EFL Cup game, obviously a 2-0 win over Burnley, a high-flying Burnley as well in the Championship. So that was actually a really good result. I think, obviously people would still expect us to win quite comfortably. But, Burnley were on very, very good form coming into that game. I think right now they're something like 11 points clear at the top of the Championship. So, they will be a Premier League side, come next season. So, listen, it's a decent result. And, in the previous round, obviously, we got through Aston Villa as well, who had just got a new manager. So, in this competition, we've been fairly ruthless. And as I said in the title, we have to be ruthless against the Charlton side. And I think that's what Eric Ten Hag in previous press conferences has alluded to. The fact that we haven't been ruthless in some of our games. We've let opposition come on to us because we haven't finished our chances and finished the game early. And that's something that we can't afford to do against Charlton. We've seen it before. We've had the likes of, I can't remember their name now. It'll come to me. But that Luke Matheson guy, the guy who's still doing his GCSE score, Rochdale, that was it. In the EFL Cup that time, they ended up getting it to penalties, and obviously United ended up winning on penalties. But that's just an example of when things can go wrong if you don't take your chances, and moments of magic can happen which sometimes you just can't control. So we've got to make sure we do a professional job and we get the job done, and I really do believe that we're going to do that. RB Comps, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Guys, make sure you check out this guy's comps. Honestly, unbelievable stuff. Not only, if you're a Juventus fan, obviously a lot of his compilations focus on Juventus, but if you're a football fan in general, we all love going onto Twitter, watching compilations, even if it's not even about, players or the club we support, just generally. We're football fans at the end of the day. So make sure to check out his stuff. Brilliant stuff on his channel. Honestly, absolutely superb. So yeah, make sure to check out RB Comps. Wouldn't recommend him highly enough. Brilliant stuff on there. And Doug, thanks for joining, Doug. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Talking about recommending people, again, I could not recommend Doug highly enough. Brilliant stuff on his channel. Always growing, always smashing it. So make sure, if you haven't already, check out his channel, the Dugout Football channel. Brilliant stuff over there. Stuff for all football fans, really, as well. So make sure you do check that out if you haven't already. So I'm going to give you my predicted starting 11. As I said, I don't want to go on too long on this stream. I know obviously Arsenal are playing Oxford. I don't know the score. I know it was 0-0 at half time. But this is my predicted 11. Let me know what you think. I do think rotation will be the order of the day, but I do think he will look to keep a fairly strong starting 11 because, as I said, yes, on paper, Charlton are a team that we should be beating. It's a team that we should be beating comfortably. But it's a quarter-final of a competition, and it's a massive opportunity for us to get through and potentially be closer to ending our little trophy drought, which has stemmed since 2017. So, like it or not, it's been getting on for, nearly 6 years now? So we've got to end that drought. We have to end that drought, and we've got to be ruthless. We've got to be ruthless, but I do think he's going to make a few changes. In goal, I'm going to put Tom Heaton. Now, this was something that I was wrestling with, and apparently Ten Hag was wrestling with it. If you've watched his pre-match press conference, he talked about the fact that obviously we've just brought Jack Butland in, and obviously Tom Heaton is going to be more used to how we play. He's played a few games this season, and he's got a big decision to make, and I think he does have a big decision to make. And I've gone with Tom Heaton purely because I believe Ten Hag will choose Tom Heaton, because this is a predicted 11, not necessarily the 11 I'm going to put in myself. But I think Ten Hag will go with tried and tested, which I think will, kind of perplex some United fans, especially because obviously Jack Butland's just been brought in, and if he doesn't get a game here, then I don't see where he's going to get any more games at the end of the season. So you kind of feel like this is his last opportunity to actually get some game time. So for me, I think if he does go with Heaton, it will perplex a few United fans, but I think he will, just because he is tried and tested. He talked about the fact in his press conference that Heaton kind of knows the style of play. He's played in the team a few times. He's obviously played on the Ten Hag a few times. So, we had Dubravka as well, and obviously Newcastle recalled him on loan and everything, or recalled his loan. So it's difficult, the backup goalkeeper situation right now. And obviously, with us having brought in Jack Butland, I think it is going to cause a little bit of confusion. But I think he will go with Tom Heaton. Who knows? If we're doing well enough, Jack Butland might get his debut if we're maybe 4-5-0 up. But that's obviously more in hope than anything. Rich has joined us. Thank you for joining, Rich. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. He says, I sense a trophy this season. I hope you're right, Rich. I hope you're right, honestly. It's been too long. 6 years without a trophy. And it just shows in football you're not owed anything. Just because we're a big club like Manchester United and we won trophies before, you're not owed anything. You have to fight for every single thing. And we haven't been good enough to win silverware. We've got to a few finals. FA Cup finals, Europa League finals, but we just haven't been good enough in the end. And this season, we are building a lot of momentum right now. We've been very, very good since the resumption of Premier League and club football. And if we do carry this sort of momentum into the cup competitions, I agree with you. I do think we can win silverware this season, and I hope we do. I hope you're right, Rich. Honestly, I really, really hope you're right. Andrew, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Cheers, Andrew. Hope you're doing well, having a good evening. This is my predicted 11 going into the game. I've gone with Malacia, Martinez, Maguire, Dalot, Casemiro, Fred, Ericsson, Garnacho, Rashford, and Martial. And as I said, I've kept it fairly strong. I know there's a bit of rotation in there. Team news, obviously, Bruno Fernandes can't play in this game. He picked up a suspension for, I think, too many yellow cards in the competition, maybe. I think he got a yellow card against Burnley, which has kept him out of this game. So I think he will pick Ericsson to play in his role, which I don't think is the worst decision. I think that is Ericsson's most natural position. And recently, Ericsson's actually been pretty good for us. So hopefully he can slot in there and it just feels like a natural position for him. I have gone with Garnacho instead of Anthony. The news came out actually recently that one of the reasons that a lot of United fans felt that since the resumption of club football, Anthony just didn't really look on it. And it did come out that apparently he'd been in a car crash, on New Year's Eve, I think it was. So obviously, thank God he wasn't injured or hurt, and thank God the other people in the car weren't injured or hurt either. But it said that he was left quite shaken by it. So maybe that did contribute to some of his performances. But good to see him obviously back amongst the goals as well, like he was against Everton the other night. And yeah, hopefully he can continue his Man United career in a good fashion. But yeah, this is what I've gone with. As I said, Rashford on tip-top form right now. I would back him to get a goal in this one. And my hypothesis, and I'm not sure if you guys agree, but my thinking behind this team is that Ten Hag will want to go strong from the start and look to bring players off and rest them, because there's no hiding from it. We've got a very, very tough period of fixtures in the next few Premier League game weeks. Obviously, we have City at home and then Crystal Palace away, obviously the rescheduled fixture, and then we've got Arsenal away. So not exactly the easiest run of fixtures you can ever ask for, but it's going to be a huge test of our resolve and a huge test of where we're currently at as a team. So I'm looking forward to it. You've got to look forward to these big games. This is what we live for as football fans. Andrew said, did that car accident cause him to have no right foot? I mean, I think he turned up very left foot dominated, to be fair. But no, as I said, he took his goal well. I think he took that with his right foot, to be fair to him. So he has got a goal with his right foot this season. He just needs a header to get a perfect trio of goals. But I'm going to get into my score prediction, as I say, not my predicted score. Let me know your score predictions in the live chat, and if you're watching on the video as well, leave them in the comment section down below. Really interested to see what the moods are like going into this game. Whether, I suspect a lot of people are going to be confident, but how confident are people going to be? Are we thinking 4 or 5-0? Or I think it's going to be a close encounter. Let me know, guys. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Manchester United. I think we've been very solid at home. Even against Everton, we looked a little bit shaky, but we got the job done, and it was ultimately a fairly comfortable result in the end. So 3-1 win for me. I think Rashford gets on the score sheet a couple of times. I think maybe Casemiro gets on the score sheet. I'm backing Casemiro to get a goal. And I do think, actually, the guy, and if you weren't here in the stream earlier, Miles Leeburn, his dad, Colin Leeburn, actually has some history in cup competitions against Manchester United. He scored a consolation goal in a 3-1 win for United in 1994 in the FA Cup. So, obviously, if it's like father, like son, Miles Leeburn might get on the score sheet, and that's what I'm going to predict. I'm going to say his son, Carl Leeburn's son, of course. Andrew, thanks for letting me know. Carl Leeburn's son, Miles Leeburn, is going to get on the score sheet and is going to fulfill the prophecy. But hopefully we go on to win the match. Dazza, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out Dazza's football stand. Brilliant stuff, as always. But you guys already knew that. Brilliant stuff over there. Thanks for joining. Good morning to you. Niall, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And Liam, thanks for joining. Brilliant stuff. Also, guys, if you love kind of watching watch-alongs and everything like that of not just football but different sports on Daz's channel, I've been seeing that him and Liam have been doing great stuff, not only on football matches but also the darts as well. Some absolutely quality watch-alongs and just content in general, so make sure you check them out. Brilliant stuff on there. Andrew says, not lying here, I have the correct United score 4 matches running. Well, hope you're right, Andrew. 3-0, he says. 3-0. So hopefully it's 5 out of 5 for Andrew, like it's been 5 out of 5 for Manchester United so far since the end of the World Cup. So 3-0, very, very comfortable by the sounds of it. Liam going with 4-0 United. As I said, a lot of positivity in the chat, and great minds think alike. Daryl 3-1, great minds think alike. I always knew Daryl knew his stuff. And he also says, should be easy, but United don't make things easy for themselves. Well, yeah, listen, for me, as I said at the start of the stream, Charlton, I think, are going to come with a lot of confidence in that they haven't really got anything to lose. Obviously, their forward men, Corey Blackett-Taylor, Raksaki, and obviously Miles Leeburn, they've been in decent form. It's very exciting. Their forward players have been very exciting this season, and I don't think they're going to go on the defensive and try and nick a result. I think they're just going to go for it. I think they're going to see the fact that, whilst they're not expected to win this competition, it's a big opportunity for them to, come to Old Trafford and upset the apple cart. And if they play positively and they throw everything at it, who knows what can happen. And that's why we've got to be ruthless. And that is why I put that in the title. Because we have to be ruthless. And this is something that Ten Hag has pointed out in recent games, that we haven't been as ruthless. And this season as a whole, we've been better at it now. But previous to the World Cup break, we were never really a team that put we didn't take enough of our chances. So in this game, we've got to do that. And I do think we will. As I said, 3-1 United is my prediction. Let me know your predictions, guys, in the comment section down below if you're watching. But I'll probably leave the stream there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of you turning out. As I said, if you did enjoy this video, feel free to hit that like button. Really would appreciate that. If you're watching the video on the replay, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I do read every single comment, so please do leave your thoughts in the comments. And subscribe to the channel as well if you are new and you haven't seen my face around here before. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate you giving up your Monday evening. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.